Hi, this is oli-kern from oli-kern TV for Stay Curious. I once sat in a meeting and the manager asked for approaches on how to improve packaging for products. Attending the meeting were a lot of experts for packaging. Most of them had more than a decade experience in their field. Also, it was the time where classic print production started to become more and more digital and platform driven. A new approach of a digital workflow was presented, and immediately it was bombarded with critique and long explanations why this could never ever work. I had similar experiences many times. People seem to have this natural tendency to throw harsh criticism at new ideas as their first reaction. Maybe this has to do with evolution. In our brainstem, kind of our reptilian brain, we react like animals to new stuff we are confronted with. And how do animals react? They attack it, eat it, or they run. Now, if we are confronted with new stuff, we seem to have a tendency to downshift to this reptilian brain. And what do we do if we are stuck in a meeting? Obviously, we can't run from the meeting, or we can't eat the idea, so we attack it in order to restore the known and comfortable status quo. Now, if we are aware of this, we can proactively counter it. Now, there is one tool I can recommend. It is called Point. With this tool, we look at the pluses and opportunities first, and only then at the issues or concerns. We finish off with a constructive, positive note again by coming up with new thinking on how to overcome the concerns. Now let me walk you through it in a little more detail. Step 1 is to come up with a list of at least 3 things that are good or great about the idea. The so-called pluses. P for pluses. In my example from the beginning, the digital workflow was beneficial because it was faster. Everyone had instant access to the newest document versions, and it provided a common standard, a common process standard. Now, in step 2 of our point analysis, we list the opportunities. In other words, possible future gains once we implemented the idea. We start phrasing these by "it might." For example, a digital workflow might save us a lot of money once all agencies accept it. Now, as no idea is actually perfect, in step 3 of our point analysis, we list all the issues. But hold on, please, let's phrase those issues as questions. Why? Because we want to continue the idea development process by inviting solutions to us. Now, for our digital workflow example, this could be: in what ways might we convince all our agencies to agree to one single workflow that is actually not their own invention? And then finally, in step 4 of our point analysis, we now ask for new thinking to answer all the questions from step 3. Now, this strengthens the idea and increases the chances for acceptance. In our example of the digital workflow, this could be: after setting a timeline, we will establish a purchasing rule to only hire agencies who actually contractually agree to our workflow. Now, I believe Point is a fantastic tool. A point analysis moves us away from our natural tendency to fire criticism at new and potentially great ideas. It does this by forcing us to look at the pluses and the opportunities first. Then by phrasing issues as questions to invite solutions to us. in the form of answers to those questions. Point actually harnesses our thinking in new ways. You should try it yourself, as I have done it many times. Okay, and that's it for today. As always, stay curious and keep smiling.